week was a little bit different for me. I spent 5 days overseas, went to New Zealand, was in the South Island visiting my family, which was really nice. My mum and dad, this is not where I actually grew up. They've moved here since I left New Zealand. But they now live in the South Island in the middle of nowhere, in this beautiful little rural town, which is by the sea. Because it's rural, there are a lot of trees and bushes. And I've got really bad hay fever now. So I'm not ill, I just sound very croaky and have a bright red nose because I was inhaling all the beautiful pollen. But I wanted to share what it's like to go overseas for 5 days when you're comp prepping, because I'm back now. I got back yesterday and I went to the gym today. I did my first workout for 6 days. So I didn't do any workouts when I was in New Zealand apart from walking. And today, the workout that I did is probably the best workout I've done in at least 6 months, maybe a year. And I put that down to two things. Number one, all the sleep I had over those past 5 days, because I kicked the house out of sleep when I was there. I had a lot of sleep. But also because I was in a town that I had never been to before. I was in the middle of nowhere. I kind of felt like I didn't exist for 5 days. And this is something that I actually try to do every season when I'm competing, is have a few days where I go somewhere where I can feel like I don't exist. And by not existing, I mean I don't know anyone, I'm not close to my work, I'm not close to anything that I'm familiar with. So it makes me feel like no one cares where I am, what I'm doing. No one wants anything from me. I'm not putting any pressure on myself. Nothing's expected of me. So I just get into this really beautiful, chill, relaxed mental state for 5 days. So even though I didn't train at all and I couldn't really stick to my food, I'm back on the wagon now. Oh shit, dropped my fork. I probably stuck to my eating maybe 50%. I took my food on the plane there. My mum had lots of food prepared for me when I got there. She helped me prepare some food to take on the way home. But there's a lot of fresh food you can't take on the plane unless you eat it when you're there. And if you don't eat it all, it gets taken off you at the other end. But while I was there for my mum's 60th birthday. So I planned this really cute little surprise, little kid's birthday for her, with a cheesecake and cupcakes and stuff. So I did eat some of it. I just made sure when I was there that when I was eating something that was off the plan, it was small so that I could get back on the wagon. And because I made sure that it was still controlled, I think I wasn't worried about it. And I think those two things, being completely relaxed, mentally and physically relaxed, and having heaps of sleep, I reckon that's why the workout that I had today was the best I've ever had. I'll show you the workout soon because I managed to film it all. It's Easter Sunday today, so there was hardly anyone at the gym. And it was great because it meant that I could film nearly every working set and not worry about people being in the background and stuff like that. So I'll show you the whole workout. But I really feel like because I was so relaxed and had so much sleep, my physical strength just skyrocketed. So it just goes to show that if you stress and worry about things a lot, it manifests in different ways, in ways that you might not even know. And I know I had a great workout because the last time I did that workout a week ago, there's no way I could have hit the reps that I did today or hit the weight that I hit today. So it's just a lesson for me that I didn't know I needed the break. And I'm always like that. I never know I need a break until I actually have one. And then as soon as I get back, I get straight back into my stress mode. And no one does it to me. I do it to myself. I create all these projects and deadlines and goals and things like that, which I think is still important to do. But then I'm just so mentally focused on getting it done that I do sometimes feel a little bit overwhelmed. Yeah. So for those 5 days, I've got to a point where I was just like, you know what, I'll control as much as I can control, but I'm here to enjoy myself, enjoy my family, spend time with them. And I think that was the absolute best thing I could have done. And I think it's a lesson if you're getting ready for a competition to always start a lot further out than you think you'll need to start, so that if you need to have a few blips like this, it's okay. I did another set of photos this morning. I did a check-in video just to see where I'm at. And I can see that, compared to maybe 2 weeks ago, it looks like I've hit a plateau, which is kind of normal because I have not been on track as much as I should have been. But I also have the time to start just winding it right in now and being really strict. And with being so relaxed, if I can continue this feeling of being mentally and physically relaxed, I think the results will come faster as well, now that I'm going to be better with the food as well. So my advice to you is, I think it's important to care and it's important to be focused, but don't let yourself stress out, because that's one of the things I'm learning about my sports psychology course, which I've just started, is when you're stressed, your blood vessels actually tighten. And when they're tightened, it's very hard for waste product to be flushed out. So your body regulates itself much better when you're mentally and physically relaxed. And that's, I know that's easier said than done. You can't just decide not to worry about things. And I think that's probably one of the best things that came out of the pandemic. There were so many negative things that came out of it. But a lot of us were forced to just cancel so many things that when the world reopened, we only restarted the things that actually mattered. So a lot of us did a bit of a mental and physical detox because we were forced to cancel a lot of things. And then we asked ourselves, do we really want to bring those things back? So that was the great thing about having these 5 days off. I wasn't doing it because I needed a break. I was doing it because I wanted to go enjoy my mum's 60th birthday with her and spend time with my family. But the added benefit of that is I feel so much more physically and mentally relaxed. And I think that's why the workout that I had at the gym today was just so good. And if I can keep that going all the way through, I think the results are going to be so much better than if I really kind of try to push it or force it and stress out. The worst thing that came out of that trip to New Zealand was the hay fever and the red nose, but I know that will start to go. Maybe that's something that you need to look at as well. Maybe you're worrying too much about, making the food perfect and the training perfect. Are there other things that you can address that's going to help you get a better result from what you're doing? Are you stressed? Are you getting enough sleep? Drinking enough of this? Drinking enough water? I've been pushing more of this in and it's helped as well. A lot of my cravings have gone because I've just been getting more of this in. Basics, the stuff that we all should be doing, but sometimes we just need to be told. So now let me take you through today's workout. Every workout starts the same, where I write all my working sets in my book so I don't have to fill it out later. Quick fit check. And then I'm into my first exercise, which is a seated shoulder press. I don't like that machine. I like this machine because see how the handles move. So I always use this machine on the right. Now, I've already done a couple of warm-ups, but this is where I realise that this is going to be a really good workout because I have selected a weight which is heavier than a week ago, and yet last time I could only get 8 reps at the lighter weight. Now, on the heavier weight, I got 15 reps. So I actually felt like it wasn't me. Maybe the machine had been recalibrated or something. I just felt this absolute surge in strength. So after this working set, I have a little bit of a break. And then I actually went up 2 plates for my next set after this. So I've actually gone from 40 pounds each side to 70 pounds each side. I couldn't believe it. Last time I only did 35 pounds, I could only get 8 reps. So this just shows how much of a difference it makes, having lots of sleep and being so incredibly relaxed. This is what it's done to my strength levels. Okay, here goes. Next set, I'm on the 70 pounds each side. Watch this. The first rep's a little bit short. That's better. See how much I'm straining? This is a good intensity. However, I'm trying to work on an 8 rep range. And look at that, I can only get 4 reps. So I was a little bit keen going up 2 plates. But at least now I know, so I'm going to record it in my book, have a break, and I'll do one more set. I'm actually going to go down 1 plate each side. So now I'm on 60 pounds each side, and this is just right. Now you watch what happens to my leg when I start fatiguing. You can see when I'm ready to terminate because I can't hold my form. I'm onto a barbell front raise. So I've got 13 kgs here. That's an 8 kilo bar with 2.5 kgs each side. I'm trying to work on a 10 rep range, but what I tend to do is I'll select a weight which I think is going to be challenging for that rep range, but then I always just keep going until I can't do any more. And on this occasion, I end up getting 12 reps. So I know it's kind of just right. There's no fractional plates here and I didn't bring my own, so I'm just going to have to stay with this weight and probably just go slightly over 10 reps, which is fine because next week I can go heavier. But people always ask me, how do you know which weight to choose? Well, you don't actually. You just got to use trial and error. Record in your book if there's a certain rep range that you're going for. Always do as many as you can. Keep going all the way to fatigue. And if you do more than the desired rep range, then you know you didn't choose a heavy enough weight. My next set now, and it's really important to film an exercise like this from the back because a front raise is going to work your front delts, the front of your shoulders, but if you do it correctly, you're going to work your whole posterior chain as well, because you can see here how I'm working really hard to maintain good posture. So chest up, shoulders back, core switched on. I really feel this in the middle part of my back. So even when you're doing so-called isolation exercises, don't forget about the rest of your body. I'm not swinging. I'm not using momentum. I'm trying to do it with as much control as I can. And I'm trying to focus on my front delts without forgetting about all the other muscle groups that I'm trying to use as well. This is why I'm just showing you all the different angles here, because it might be to target one muscle in particular, but I'm being very careful to keep everything turned on. Just so I don't build bad habits, but also it's the added benefit of all the other muscle groups switching on. And I find that with all shoulder exercises, you really got to have your glutes switched on, your core switched on, and you've got to maintain good posture to get the most out of the exercises anyway. One of the biggest benefits of working with cables is you get a very, very constant line of movement. You get a very, very constant load up and down, or for the eccentric and the concentric. Whereas when you work with free weights, there'll be a force curve. So one part of the exercise will be hard and one part will be easy. But with cables, you can make the whole entire rep hard. But one of the downsides of working with cables is that they often have really big plates. So if you're working a small muscle group, like your medial deltoid or the middle of your shoulder, it's very, very hard to go up in weight because the next plate is going to be too much. So I've got quite a big bend in my elbow to reduce the intensity. And I'm slowing the reps right down, and I'm trying to pause at the top because I'm trying to do an 8 rep range, but this plate is a little bit too easy and yet the next plate is too hard. So instead of going to the next plate and loosening up my form, I just did a lot of pauses. Now I'm using the same machine for an upright row. This is actually more than my own body weight, so it's kind of pulling my weight down. So I am leaning back a little bit, but it's only so I can get leverage on the machine. And now I'm really focusing on bringing my elbows up and kind of making that V shape with my elbows. Now this exercise is very humbling because I'm trying to work my rear deltoid now, back of the shoulder. But if I go slightly too heavy, only the tiniest bit too heavy, I can feel my lats try and turn on and help, and my triceps. So this is very, very lightweight. And what I'm doing is I'm just working on my muscle connection, and I'm really focusing on one arm at a time. So even though I'm pushing with both arms at the same time, in my mind, I'm thinking about the left arm for the first rep, the right arm for the second rep. So I'm thinking about leading with each arm. So I'm kind of, in my head, I'm alternating, if that makes sense, because it helps me to build mind muscle connection with my rear delts. After this set, I did go slightly heavier, and I can definitely still feel my lats. So this one's a work in progress for me. It's certainly nothing to brag about. Now that the shoulder workout is complete, I'm going to finish with some abs, which will be some hanging leg raises first. This, very, very hard on the lower abs, but also hard on the forearms. My grip strength is already cooked by now, so this is challenging me not just in my abs, but definitely in the forearms. A little bit of a bonus there, working on grip strength at the same time. And this is way harder than it looks. This is a crunch with an 8-second hold. I'm using my fingers to figure out which rep I'm up to. But I literally did 8 reps and that was it. I needed a break after that because holding it for 8 seconds, holy crap. This will work your middle and your upper abs really well. Try an 8-second pause, man. Damn.
Oh.